Well, good afternoon, and this is Sean Smith from Sean Smith Ministries. You know, as a life and leadership mentor, I've covered so many different areas of people's lives and coached and mentored them into effective living and effective leadership. And one of the things that I've really thought about and looked at and that I see oftentimes is in the context of church and oftentimes in business. Well, definitely in business and organizational structures. You know, is that we talk about mentoring and mentoring leaders, but you don't often find people that are skilled in these things, knowing how to do it, how to be a mentor leader. So we think that just because we're leaders that we are mentors, and that's not really the truth. Mentoring leaders, by implication, means that you are prepared to take on and learn certain skills to mentor another generation of leaders and to mentor your team and your staff, and mentor those that you are responsible for. Leadership is about influence. Leadership is about responsibility. Leadership is about making the right choices and the right decisions. But not only that, leadership is about reproducing yourself into others. So I would like in this post just to talk a little bit about what you should know to be a mentor leader. I'm not going to cover it all, but I just want to introduce you to some key areas that I think you need to know and learn to become skilled in as a leader that does mentoring or as a mentor leader. Firstly, you must be strategic. You've got to be able to lead from a strategic viewpoint. You have to be able to think strategically, be able to do strategic planning, be able to lead from a place of your purpose. You've got to strategically know what is your strategic purpose, your strategic mission, and there are certain elements in that you need to be aware of and be skilled in to operate in, to be able to unpack. And so as a mentor leader, you must be strategic. You've got to have a big picture thinking process, planning process. You must be able to make decisions and choices based on a future destination or a future position. And you must be able to impart and influence another generation to go there as well. So as a mentor leader, your decisions and your choices have got to be one of strategic. You can't be operating in crisis management, which many times we see that managers and leaders do. They just, whatever happens. But you've got to be strategic in your mindset, in your viewpoint. See the big picture. Know where all this is going. Be able to incorporate the values and the purposes and the vision of the organization or of the team that you're working with, of the project that you're involved in. And you must be able to impart that and influence your team, your next generational leaders, with that same strategic mindset. Secondly, I believe as another key is that mentor leaders need to be relational. Not just the skill of building relationships, and that does take skill. But if you don't have the heart, the important thing is to have a heart. You've got to have skill on how to build relationship, how to communicate in those relationships. But absolutely vital is also and important is to have the desire and the heart for relationships, to be considerate and respectful and understanding. Because without the heart, it becomes a mechanical thing. And people soon, your team, the people that you're leading and mentoring will soon pick up the duplicitousness in your leadership. In other words, you're saying one thing, but actually your conviction is something else. You don't have a heart for them. You're not empathetic to who they are, where they are, and what they are. In fact, you just using the skill of relationship to get something that you want. Mentor leaders truly have a heart for the life and for the life of the people that they're relating to. They have a heart for their strengths, their potential, where they're going as people, their abilities. You can see it, and you have a heart for it. An understanding heart immediately tells you that somebody has got a depth to them that really has more than wanting your back, your usefulness. They actually are really concerned about you as a person. They really value you as a person, and that's vital for mentors. I've sat with people mentoring me, and all they want to do is get the project done, and that's important. But I can never commit myself to a project until I know that you are truly concerned about me as a person. Are you prepared to walk with me? And that's what mentors do. Mentors walk and journey with the person through their personal issues and help them overcome these things to begin to become an effective person. The other thing, of course, mentor leaders, they believe in relationships, that everything grows out of a relationship. They really have a heart for relationship. They really have a heart to relate to their staff, their team, and to see their value, to live their value, to bring value to their team and the relationships around them. They believe in those relationships, and then they facilitate quality relationships. They facilitate the team to actually have good relationships. They're willing to deal and confront the issues that break down the relationships and build up those things. Being a mentor leader, being a leader, just period, means you have to be relational. Being a mentor leader means that you, in fact, begin to assist others to relate to one another, relate within their personal capacity and their professional capacity. You are a facilitator of change to bring about unity, to bring about a vision, to bring about the best in everybody to fulfill their God-given ability and potential and purpose. Number 3 key thing of a mentor leader is you must be influential. Being influential means you're proactive. You don't wait to be acted upon. You are proactive. You're proactive in your emotional behavior, in your decision making, in your choices, in how you behave, in your actions, in the worldview you choose. You are proactive. You're not passive. You're not just waiting for others to act, because if you're not proactive, if you're not taking the initiative for your leadership, others will. It's like somebody said that if you do not have a strategy and commit yourself to a strategy, set out a strategy and live a strategy, you will be living somebody else's strategy for your leadership. So it's very important to be proactive. That makes you influential. Also, you need to be passionate. Now, we're not talking about being overbearing, loud. It just means that you're loyal, devoted, committed, that you're enthused. Enthused means in theos, in God, in breathed. You have you are breathed within you, enthusiastic. People love enthusiastic leaders. They love to follow enthusiastic leaders because you believe in something. And so it means that's passionate. When you're passionate, you're influential. The other thing is that you need to be courageous. Not inconsiderate, but courageous. Courageous is that you are you live your conviction. You're courageous about your values. You're courageous about the beliefs that you have. You're courageous about the vision and the purpose that you have in your heart. You're a courageous leader. You're willing to run up the beach in the face of fire. You're willing to stand for what you believe in. You're willing to be a person of integrity even when others are not. You're willing to be. You're prepared to be courageous for ethical leadership. Very, very important, but not inconsiderate of what others are experiencing and their perceptions. In other words, you're not overbearing. Again, is a good word. You don't push down, run over, squash others to live your courage, but your courage is balanced with consideration for others' esteem and significance and their value and their perception and view on things. Influential leaders, as a mentor leader, you need to be influential in understanding others, not indifferent to the feelings and to, as I said, to the views, to the perceptions, the worldviews, the values of others. Understanding that you cannot control people's views, but you can influence their views. But understanding means you're open to being influenced by what they see before you prepared to try and force or even bring your influence on them. And of course, if you're listening to another's viewpoint, you reluctantly will be forceful. Influence is not persuasion. Persuading is once you've used all your tactics and your personality to persuade somebody, you'll always have to persuade them. But when you are just using the influence from godly character, from a godly purpose, from a definite strategic relational view of having a heart to understand and believe in people, you will bring about a tremendous influence in their life for them to hear what your viewpoint is. So understanding, not indifferent, and to believe in their potential. Believe in their potential brings tremendous influence into their life. So these are just a few points about what it means to be a mentor leader, because as soon as you become a mentor in somebody's life, you become a leader to their life, but you need to be leading your life first. And so these are not just what you do outwardly, but it's things that you need to take inwardly. And that's why I shared some of these thoughts. Thank you for listening, and have a great leadership process and journey. God bless you until next time. This is Sean Smith, Life and Leadership Leader. Bye-bye.